trumps
Yeah,
entertaining.
there's two kinds of movies, virtue signalers and superhero movies.
Yeah.
Are you bullish on the future of movies? Because
Well, look, you have to always look at it.
are we going to get
This-
back
this-
to
look,
that
look,
place?
this-
At a star-studded Hollywood premiere, Quentin Tarantino boldly defies woke culture, refusing to apologize for his artistic choices in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Is Tarantino the last true rebel in an industry now dominated by ideology?
Well, look, you have to always look at it.
Are we
Look,
going to get back to
look,
that
Look,
place?
this happened. This comes in waves. This absolutely comes in waves. All right, so it's like,
Quentin Tarantino, a name synonymous with bold narratives and unapologetic filmmaking, found himself at the center of controversy following the release of his 2019 film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Tarantino was confronted by a reporter who questioned why Margot Robbie had so few lines in the movie. This question wasn't just a query about character development, it was loaded with implications, suggesting that Tarantino might be undermining the importance of a prominent female figure in his film. The criticism was sharp, implying that the limited dialogue was a form of gender bias, a point of view echoing the broader woke culture's focus on equal representation, regardless of the context or artistic intention. Tarantino's response was as straightforward as his cinematic style. He simply said, "I reject your hypothesis." This curt reply wasn't just a refusal to answer the question, it was a bold statement of artistic integrity. Tarantino was making it clear that his creative decisions were based on his vision for the film and not on societal pressures or ideological expectations. He further explained that he writes his characters with care and purpose, and every line of dialogue serves the narrative he intends to tell. By defending his artistic choices, Tarantino emphasized that true art should not conform to external pressures, but should instead remain true to the creator's vision. This incident isn't an isolated one, but reflects a larger battle within Hollywood and the entertainment industry at large. The push from certain groups to prioritize ideological representation over artistic integrity has become increasingly prominent. Directors, writers, and artists are often pressured to alter their visions to fit a checklist of ideological correctness, from gender representation to racial diversity. While these are important issues, how they are enforced can sometimes undermine the very essence of creative freedom. In Tarantino's case, his refusal to bend his artistic vision to fit the mold demanded by woke culture advocates is not just about a single film, but is symbolic of a broader resistance. It's a stand for the principle that art should be evaluated on its merits and the emotions it evokes, not merely on how well it aligns with prevailing social ideologies. This confrontation between creative freedom and ideological enforcement in Hollywood is reminiscent of past cultural battles, yet it carries a unique modern twist with social media and public opinion amplifying every decision an artist makes. By holding his ground, Tarantino champions a return to an environment where filmmakers can express themselves freely without fear of being shamed or bullied for their artistic choices. Quentin Tarantino's defiance serves as a beacon for those in the creative industries who feel stifled by the increasing pressure to conform. His stance challenges the norm and calls into question the trajectory of Hollywood's future. Will it be a future shaped by genuine artistic expression or one governed by the rigid rules of ideological correctness? For advocates of artistic freedom and critics of woke culture, Tarantino's boldness not only defends individual creativity, but also highlights the importance of maintaining artistic integrity in the face of societal pressures.
Now, ultimately, when it comes to subtextual criticism, it doesn't matter. It's simply you making your little case. But in the heat of the moment, they're actually treated more seriously than that.
How do you parse out?
Hollywood has long been the global powerhouse of cinema, shaping not just American culture, but also influencing audiences worldwide. Traditionally, the primary goal of films was to entertain, inspire, and provoke thought through artistic expression. However, recent years have seen a significant shift in Hollywood's priorities, with a growing emphasis on political and social ideologies often taking precedence over pure artistic intent. Historically, Hollywood's mainstay was its ability to captivate and entertain, offering escapism and reflection through a variety of genres and stories. Directors and writers had the creative freedom to explore complex themes and diverse narratives, yet this has transformed dramatically. Today, there is a strong push towards embedding films with specific ideological messages, often at the expense of the story itself. This shift is largely driven by a vocal segment of society that values ideological correctness, demanding representation and alignment with progressive values across all forms of media. This transformation is not merely a natural evolution of storytelling, but rather a response to pressure from social media platforms, activist groups, and even within the industry itself. These groups scrutinize films for adherentives or virtue signaling, where the inclusion of certain elements feels more like a checklist to appease certain audiences rather than to serve the story. The overwhelming dominance of superhero movies exemplifies this trend. These films often carry clear-cut messages of good versus evil, which are easy to mold around current ideological battles. They appeal to a broad audience and are lucrative, yet they frequently lack the depth and nuance that smaller, more artistically driven films offer. The market is saturated with these